Well, today's another great step in the comeback of the Hobart Chargers. Today we're here to announce the coaches, the two head coaches. The two guys who really need no introduction. They're two of the most successful coaches in the past for the club, but not only that, they're also two of the most successful basketball players that the state's produced. So with the men's, we've got Anthony Stewart coming back for the men's, and we've got Mark Nash coming back to head up the women's program for us. So it's a very exciting day for basketball, and we're looking forward to season 2020. Let's go Chargers.
Touched on it then, but how great is it to have two blokes of the calibre of these guys to be leading the Chargers forward next year?
Well, okay, it was a very exciting day for us today with that announcement, and how great is it to have two guys of such great calibre leading the Chargers into next season's 2020.
Do you know where you'll be playing your games yet, Brett?
Not as yet. We're still in final negotiations with the venues. Those announcements will be forthcoming in the next week or so. We've been really focusing on getting one step done at a time. So this is step number 2, announcing our coaches.
David mentioned previously that it might be a shared sort of thing this season, even around a few different venues. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, there's a possibility of that, the way the schedule's unfolding for the season. Also, if the deck becomes unavailable with hopefully the successful bid by Larry Kesselman on the NBL, then we need to move around to fit the games in for the season.
For you, mate, or were you weighing up other coaching options around the country and potentially overseas as well?
Yeah, had a couple of interesting opportunities, but with my two boys in particular and my family, it was probably best to stay here, and in particular with such momentum being built around the new NBL team possibly coming to Tasmania, and the development of Wilkinson Point and everything, the momentum just makes sense to try and stay here and see what eventuates.
Is it, with due respect, is this a step back for you from where you come from last year?
Oh, probably coaching-wise, a little bit of a step back as far as the level of competition in coaches and players, but at the same time, the NBL 1 is building. I think you'll find Mitch McCarron plays with Melbourne United, is going to play with Geelong, and there's several other NBL players that are going to come back and play in this league now. So I think it's starting to build. It was always going to take a little bit of time, but again, my focus is I want to continue to coach at the highest level I can, and right now that's here.
How big a factor was the NBL bid, considering how likely it's now looking into the decision?
Yeah, huge. I mean, even talking to Nash, him coming back on board is a huge part for me coming here as well. We're going to work together across both programs. We'll recruit together, we'll look at different options, we'll help each other in the coaching side of things, and NBL for both of us has been a dream, and new facilities and everything that comes along with that. That's something that we've really pushed for the last 10 years, and it seems to be all coming together and the timing couldn't be better.
Have you had a chance to think about your list yet and who you'd like to get down?
I don't think recruitment's a problem down here. It's going to be getting a good mix of the work that the young guys have done over the last 12 months. Mark Chivers did a great job with that group, and continuing to build that while also recruiting and giving ourselves an opportunity to make playoffs and push for the finals. So it's a matter of what players we want to come back, because I know the majority of players that have played here all love it. They love the community, they love everything about game night and everything that goes along with it. So I don't think recruitment will be too difficult, or it'll be just who do we pick and who do we get back.
So do you see it as a development, more than a development team like it was last year?
I won't say it's a development squad. I think they've matured enough now to be able to exceed their expectations, and I think if we can complement a couple of good imports, and Zach White obviously becoming naturalised pretty soon, I think we're going to have a really good core group. And again, for me, I coach to win, so we'll be looking to make playoffs, and then whatever happens from there, we'll see.
Where does it leave Mark? Because he obviously did a good job last year. Is there a role for him moving forward? Or?
Oh, that'll be up to the board and the president. I wouldn't see any reason why Mark couldn't play some sort of role. He's been fantastic over the last 12 months, and he did have a development team, and he stuck with that and introduced Tad Duffermeyer and a couple of good imports. So he did a really good job with that group, and hopefully we can keep him involved with the club.
So do you see this as a stepping stone to coaching the potential Tasmanian NBL team?
Oh yeah, that's. I won't hide behind that. That's my passion. That's what I want to aim for. Now, whether that's an assistant coaching role, head coaching role, that'll play out as we go along. But I just want to be involved with basketball. That's been my life, and this is just another step for that.
Heard Stewie's motivations. What were yours taking up this role with the women's side?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time for Tasmanian basketball, and particularly in southern Tasmania. A lot of changes happening, and the NBL 1 competition really took a huge step forward as far as the way the games were presented and the level of competition. And I expect that to continue to growing. So for me, when this role was vacant, I had some changes going on in other parts of my basketball life. So it was really great timing over the last few days to come back on board.
So you couldn't do it with your agent stuff. Actually, what's happened with that? Are you sort of put that to the side for now? Or?
Yeah, so the last 12 months I have been working as an agent, so I've been accredited with FIBA, and that's all on hold. FIBA have been fantastic, really understanding the circumstances, which are bigger than just the Chargers coaching role. And that's something that down the track I may go back to, and really enjoyed my time helping players on their pathways over the last couple of years.
What sort of list do you want to bring back? I mean, Kathleen Shear close to, would you try and get her back, or you want to go in a fresh direction, or how do you see it?
Yeah, look, I'm really buying in to the vision of the club, which is trying to develop 10 WNBL players and 10 NBL players over the next decade, and I think that's something I can really strongly contribute to, and I think my background in the sport aligns with that. So to do that, you need to put a great basketball program together, and we've already started some recruitment conversations. That's been extremely positive, and I think the thing that really confirms to me is that the Chargers brand is really strong, and I think we will be a destination club for a lot of players, which is fantastic.
Seeing the Tawns come out and speak about developing local talent and how that's probably going to be their focus over the next few years. What's the Chargers standpoint in terms of developing young female talent, particularly in Tassie?
Yeah, developing local talent has to be at the core of NBL 1. What we need to do is work closely with Basketball Tasmania, with local associations, but the best way of developing talent is the overall program, and to do that you need to have players that are on the fringe of WNBL and imports that have played in other destinations around the globe. So really it's developing that mix, and I think we can do both of those things, put a successful team on the floor and also develop our young talent here in Hobart.
Would you like to switch to coaching a men's side too one day, and potentially coaching the NBL as well? Or?
Look, for me, it's about coming in and focusing on the women's program right now. I really enjoyed working with Stewie in 2018, doing some player development across the men's team and helping out with pre-season. So for me, I see myself as a coach, not necessarily a women's coach or a men's coach. So I'm really excited about working across both programs, but with a real focus on the women's program going forward.
You mentioned development a few times. What will be the goal for you in the first season back?
I think the goal, for any coach and any team is you want to be competitive and make the playoffs. So, for me, I'm similar to Anthony. I'm coming in. I like to win, and I want to win, and building a team culture around that. And for me, that's one of the best ways of developing. Being in tight games, players making decisions, but also the training environment. So we'll put all those things together, and over the next week, I think we'll have some pretty exciting announcements around playing personnel.